Listen, I need you to really hear me right now. Too many people are wasting time, looking at what everybody else is doing, scrolling through social media, checking who's winning, who's traveling, who's buying what. And meanwhile, what are you doing? You're sitting there watching someone else live their life, instead of getting up and changing your own. Let me tell you something. Focus on yourself. Stop announcing everything. Stop telling people your every move. Stop looking for applause before you even take the first step. Everybody doesn't need to know what you've got planned. Everybody doesn't deserve access to your dreams. You're out here sharing big ideas with small minds, and then wondering why you feel discouraged. Too many people waste valuable time waiting for approval before they move on their dreams. They hesitate. They hold back. Why? Because they're scared of what people might think. They're waiting for someone to validate them, to say, yes, you're doing the right thing. But let me tell you something powerful. If you keep waiting for validation, you'll never move. You'll stay stuck. You'll keep looking around for a sign, instead of creating your own. Validation is a trap. It tricks you into believing your success depends on other people's approval. That if people don't clap for you, your goal isn't worth chasing. But here's the truth. Your dreams do not need a permission slip. You don't need applause to start. You don't need a cheerleader to move. Some of the most successful people in the world, nobody clapped for them in the beginning. Nobody said, that's a great idea. They moved in silence. They believed in themselves, even when no one else did. You know what the real problem is? People are addicted to outside opinions. They post their plans, waiting on likes, comments, validation. They ask their friends, their family, sometimes complete strangers, what do you think? And if they don't get excitement or praise, they start doubting. They question themselves. They lose momentum. But here's what they don't get. It's not their vision. It's yours. Not everyone's supposed to understand your journey. Not everyone's going to see what you see, and that's okay. Some people will doubt you just because they can't imagine themselves doing what you're doing. Some people will project their own fear onto you. They'll say, that's risky. They'll say, it's too hard. And if you're not careful, you'll start to believe them. You'll let their fear become your fear. But let's be real. Their opinion doesn't determine your outcome. Some of the most powerful moves you'll ever make in your life, you'll make alone. And when you stop looking for approval, you free yourself. You stop making decisions based on what makes sense to them, and you start doing what makes sense for you. You stop worrying about who supports you, because you realize their support isn't required. The only validation that matters is your own. Ask yourself this. How many times have you held back because of fear? How many times have you let an opportunity slip by just because you were afraid of judgment? All that time spent waiting for reassurance, that time could have been spent building, could have been spent growing, could have been spent winning. Success doesn't come from asking permission. It comes from action, from movement, from belief, even when nobody else believes. You want to take control of your life? Stop waiting for validation. Stop talking about what you're going to do, and just do it. One of the biggest mistakes people make is announcing everything before they even take a step. They talk about it, hoping for support, encouragement, maybe even recognition. But what they don't realize is, the more you talk, the more opinions you invite. And not every opinion is good for you. Some people will doubt you. Some people will tell you why it won't work. Some will say they're concerned. But all they're really doing is planting seeds of fear. Move in silence. Silence is powerful. When you protect your energy, your focus sharpens. You don't waste time explaining your dreams. You don't waste time convincing people. You don't need to. Successful people let their results do the talking. And here's the thing. Not everyone watching you wants you to win. Some people pretend to support you. But deep down, your growth threatens them. Your progress reminds them of their stagnation. Your wins remind them of their inaction. So what do? They try to slow you down with doubt. They say, Are you sure? They say, that seems risky. But when you move in silence, you take away their power. You don't give them a chance to interfere, because by the time they find out, it's already done. See, people confuse talking with progress. Just because you talk about something doesn't mean you're moving forward. Real progress happens in the doing, not in the discussing. And let me tell you something else. Unfinished plans are fragile. When your idea is just beginning, it's vulnerable. It hasn't taken shape yet, and if you expose it too soon, it can be destroyed. So protect your vision, nurture it. Let it grow in silence until it's strong enough to stand on its own. You want a psychological edge. Here it is. When people don't know what you're working on, they can't block it. They can't prepare for it. They can't sabotage what they don't see. You create an element of surprise, and by the time they realize what you've done, it's too late. Talking about your goals can trick your brain into thinking you've accomplished something, even when you haven't. It gives you a false sense of progress. So stop talking. Start doing. Let your results speak for themselves. Too many people lose their way by watching what everyone else is doing. They scroll for hours, comparing their behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel, seeing houses, cars, success, travel, and suddenly they feel like they're behind. But the problem isn't your progress, it's your focus. Your journey is yours. It's not supposed to look like anyone else's. Some people get there faster, some take longer, some take a completely different path. So what? What's in for you will always be for you. Comparison is dangerous. It makes you question yourself when you're doing just fine. It steals your gratitude. It blinds you to your own progress. And you know what else? You don't even know what's real. People show the win, not the work. They show the celebration, not the sleepless nights. You're comparing your truth to someone else's filter. Stay in your lane. Stop switching paths every time you see someone else winning. Stop chasing what's trending and start chasing what matters to you. Success comes from consistency. It comes from staying committed, even when it's boring, even when it's hard, even when it feels like nothing's happening. Because most people quit right before it gets good. They stop watering their own garden because someone else's looks better. But if you stay locked in, if you keep going, your time will come. And when it does, you'll realize it was never about the speed. It was never about the crowd. It was always about the grind. And one more thing, people are going to doubt you, no matter what. It doesn't matter what you're chasing. Somebody's always going to have something to say. They'll question your decisions, make little comments, pretend they know what's best for you. But their doubt only has power if you give it power. Most of the time, they're not doubting you. They're projecting their own limitations, their own failures, their own fear. Don't let people who've quit on themselves talk you out of believing in you. Don't let their fear become your ceiling, and don't waste your time trying to prove people wrong, because even when you succeed, some of them still won't give you credit. Let them talk, let them doubt, let them assume. You don't need their validation. You need your focus. You need your grind. You need to prove something to one person, and one person only: yourself. Because when you stop needing their approval, when you stop letting doubt live rent-free in your head, that's when you really win. That's when you become unstoppable.